Look at you. God damn. Girl, they should write poems about you. You are blazing and hot at the same time. We do it. It's a fantastic way to weed out the rats from the mice. This is a sales approach, guys. I've taught it to my own sales team. I want to show you this quickly. It tags onto the, and I was thinking about it while we were doing this. Just kind of get this down. I want to show you this very quickly, okay? This is a model of how you build a story when you're looking for investors to pitch in your business. It's just the way you want to kind of think about it, okay? So the couple of things you got to consider is this is kind of the journey map you want to follow anytime you're using a model to share with people what you're going to be sharing with them, especially if you're looking to raise capital, okay? So the first thing you want to think about is you want to think about telling them what don't they know. I'll explain these. The second is why should they care? Yeah? Question mark, we'll see. The third, I promise I'll explain this. The third is what makes you the authority. And the fourth is what must they do? I can't claim this. This is work of Africa's largest design agency. They're South Africa-based, a company called Missing Link. They use this model. Really, really good. Anytime you're building a story to pitch to people, this is the format you want to follow, okay? So, the first question you got to ask yourself is, what don't they know? The person you're talking to, what don't they know? Remember, you're involved in your business all the time, right? But you're pitching it to someone, either a new client, yeah, or somebody to invest in it, or a friend, yeah? Which means they, I promise you now, will not have the level of knowledge that you have. They usually have what we call user interface knowledge. Any of you here on Facebook or Instagram have user interface knowledge. The people working at Facebook or Instagram have levels of knowledge 12 stairs lower than what you and I have. That's their job. Yeah? So if I'm going to stop thinking like a user and start thinking like an investor, the things I don't know, I need to know. Does that make sense? But the thing is, don't be technical. You can't tell me what I don't know using technical language. You're going to lose me. Gone, out the window. I can't tell you how many pitches I've sat on where the investor starts going, so it's written in Java, but we also use C++, sharp, and then I'm like, oh, jeez. Is it written? Yes. Does it work? Yes. That's all I need to know. Yeah? Is it responsive on Mobi? Yes. That's all I need to know. How the code connects with the API, and then the plug in, and then there's a plug out, and API, IPO, I don't know. Yeah? So what don't they know? Simplify it. Simplify it. So in my game, if I'm raising, what don't they know? They don't know the dynamics of Africa, right? So when I pitch to global investors, what am I telling them? Market. I can tell you now, these are the stats. Size of potential market, levels of education by region. We go south, east, west, north. That's how we break up the story. Because no one's going to listen to a story about 55 different countries. They will about 4 regions. So I go size of market, size of middle class is what I mean by size of market, levels of education, and it's important to show primary, secondary, university levels of education. Yeah? Then I show them the stats from the World Economic Forum about the entrepreneurial activity, the TEA, total entrepreneurship activity. I show them that. Levels of access to power, because without power, you can't produce economies. Proliferation of the financial system. Why? Because if I'm an investor putting money in, I want to know I can get the money out. Those are that's the story before I go anywhere. I haven't started pitching why us yet. I've just told them why that market is important. What don't they know? Make sense? Then I jump to the next level and I go, but why should you care? Now you got to mention this, right? So just imagine this. I'm a person who works for an aid agency. I sit in London somewhere, on Covent Garden is my office. Downstairs is a beautiful shopping district. And here comes Vusi to see me to tell me to invest in a fund that invests in Africa. How do I get that person to care? And the only way to do this is you have to use a human story. And usually journey mapping is important. You've got to find a person, a story, an instance, a moment, and that's the story, instance, or moment that you use. So the way I do it, especially when I talk to guys in Europe, is I take them back to Europe 100 years ago. True story. There's a foundation run by a friend of mine called Damien. He and I did our MBA together. Really cool guy. How do you know somebody did an MBA? Yeah, they'll tell you. Yeah, it's true story. True story. He and I did our MBA together. See, did it twice now. And Damien sits on a board. I forget the name of this foundation, but he sits on the board of this foundation started by a guy who was an entrepreneur. He was trading out of London at the time. He used to sell cotton or something like that. And then when he died, he bought 2 farms in London. 2 farms. The name of the farms were Chelsea and I think Arsenal. Something like that. Both of them today, very, very pricey pieces of real estate. Yeah? So when I tell the story, I go, Africa today has that entrepreneur right now who could build a business that does that and in 100 years' time creates an endowment fund that funds other entrepreneurs. But if you don't invest, we can't find that entrepreneur. I've got to take them to the moment that matters for them. Yeah? So the second thing is you want to ask yourself is, why should you care? The third is, why you? Okay, so now I buy it. Okay, so I get kind of what I don't know. I get why it's important. But why are you the best person to do the job? Yeah? I think actually, even when you're pitching to clients, a lot of us fail at this stage. Yeah, because we tend to generally be, come in guys, we tend to generally be self-effacing. How many of you here find it difficult to talk about yourself and tell people how amazing you are? Yeah, get over it. Here is how you do it. This is a true story, actually. They teach you this in public speaking. Do you know how you do it? This is a true story. Look yourself in the mirror every day and tell yourself how fantastic you are. You have to do it. Just look in the mirror. You are fantastic. You are amazing. Look at you. God damn. Girl, they should write poems about you. You are blazing and hot at the same time. Yeah? Get into the habit of telling yourself how fantastic you are, because if you can't claim it, it's very difficult to tell the rest of the world. Okay? And then the last thing is, now that you've told them all of this, what must they do? What is the action you're hoping for at the end of the meeting? Okay, so we've met. These are the 3 action items. I'm going to send you a proposal about this thing. When we're done, this is what I'm expecting from you. Yeah? I'm going to leave you with my business card. Can we meet in? Very quickly, we don't have a lot of time. I want to give you guys some, this is so important, some sales tips. Never leave a meeting without a scheduled meeting to follow. If you're in the meeting and you got that meeting, don't leave until the next meeting is booked. Because I'm sitting in front of you, right? So it's, okay, so I'm going to send you the proposal, then I'm going to ask you for another meeting. No. How about I send you the proposal now? Have a look at your calendar. Tell me what it looks like. Can we meet in 2 weeks' time? Bed it down while you're in the room. You ever had a first meeting and then it takes the person forever to commit to a second meeting? Then eventually you give up? Yeah, they knew at the end of the first meeting the second meeting wasn't going to happen. Which is fine. You can also say to the person, now that we've met, I've pitched it to you, are you interested in taking the conversation forward, or would you rather take some time to think about it? People who want to think about it, I can tell you now the person's not going to buy. They are nodding. Yeah? Is this making sense? I promise you now, get good at doing this. You are fundamentally going to change your success rates at how your story is understood, how your story is heard, and how you get people to take action. But the most important thing, you have to be clear about what people must do at the end of every encounter, at the end of every session, the end of every meeting. What must they do? What's the action item? What's next? What are the 3 things I have to do? Phone me, schedule another meeting, introduce me to your board members. Can I come and pitch? And if the person commits, then can we book it now? Be forceful. Yeah. I don't know if you guys do, but do you guys have cappuccino meetings? I call them cappuccino meetings. Yeah. Let's meet over a cappuccino. Yeah, I don't do that shit. I really just don't. I don't do it, man. The meet over the cappuccino. No. Because if we're going to talk business, I'm either coming to your office or you're coming to mine. I'm happy for us to watch Kenya beat Tanzania 3-2. I'm just saying. But then let's schedule it as a meeting where we're going to watch Kenya beat Tanzania. Let's not say it's a business meeting over cappuccino. Because we're not going to talk business. Let's just be honest about it. If you want me to come over to your house and have a social conversation, yeah, I'll come over to your house and have a social conversation. That's cool. But don't give me the idea that we're going to talk about something other than the thing we're going to talk about and nothing's going to come from it. Remember, you asked the question, what are the 5 mistakes entrepreneurs do? I said you raise too early. So what do you want to do? You want to get as many people through this funneling system as possible. As many people as possible. This is a sales approach, guys. I've taught it to my own sales team. This is how we approach all clients that we're talking to. Yeah? At the end, what are the action steps? What must they do? Any of you here in your businesses have a template contract, a sign-on form, an onboarding document, anything like that? Get one. At the end of the first meeting, send a template contract. Discuss terms, send a template contract. We do it. It's a fantastic way to weed out the rats from the mice. So we met, we've discussed, I'm selling these pens. We discussed that I sell these pens for $1 each. You said you need 10 pens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a customer on-take document. It's going to be a 1-pager. I just need you to commit that you're going to buy 10 pens and when you're thinking about buying them. But the reason I need the information, Mr. Customer, is so that I can give it to my salespeople and my marketing people so we can unload you onto the system. So I can ask you for your banking information so we can unload you onto the invoicing system. So when the time is right, I can invoice you without asking for the information. But I'm going to ask you that at the end of the first meeting. I'm not going to waste 3-4 meetings with you telling me, well, is the pen blue? Is it red? Does it write? Does it not write? Is it a permanent marker? No, I don't have the time. Do you want the pen? Yes or no? Good. Then give me some sort of on-take commitment that you want the pen. Once I've got that, I am happy to talk about what color the pen is, how long the pen is, how light the pen is, who uses the pen. We can have all those conversations, but at the very least, I want to get some sort of commitment. Weed the rat from the mice, man. You're an entrepreneur. You're not working on a corporate. Your check isn't guaranteed. Yeah?